Hi everybody, I want to do an update on HLBZ. Like I told you yesterday, whether we have a red day or a green day, I am going to be doing a daily recap because I think it's important to capture what happened on the day and results as far as what Sharon shows us. If there's anything questionable, I want Salvatore to be able to go back and look at these records and have them on file so that he can compare. All right, so let's get started. Please remember, nothing I say is financial advice, and always do your own DD. And guys, if you are new to the market, because I must say I'm quite peeved today, to be perfectly honest with you, not every day is going to be green and looking pretty. And when a stock is heavily manipulated, such as HLBZ, GNS, and many, many others on the stock market, you have to be prepared because they're not going to just stop shorting it. It's just not going to happen. And they needed shares. I told you yesterday that they desperately needed shares. And what happened? First, they drove the price down. Then they drove the price up. Now, what do you think is going to happen tomorrow? You already started seeing it happen in after hours. They're going to get as many shares as they can, and clearly people were selling. That wasn't all shorting. Yes, 100%, there was a lot of shorting going on, but there was also a lot of selling. And when you combine those two together, it's perfect for the shorts because that's exactly what they want. And they need to get those shares one way or another. If they can't get them going down, they're going to get them going up. So tomorrow, I expect to see a green day. However, nothing's guaranteed. Like I said, I don't know how people are going to react in this play. You have a lot of retail involved, and the reality of the situation is retail is driven by emotion. That's why hedge funds eat us up, because people can't just buy and hold and buy on the dips. And when I say people, I mean the majority of retail traders. Guys, I shouldn't have to show you screenshots of my account. I shouldn't have to do that, and I will never, ever do it again. But I just got so pissed that I wanted to prove myself because I'm tired of it, to be perfectly honest with you. If I tell you I'm holding something, I am not lying. I don't pump and dump. I will never, ever do that. And then this crazy crap that I'm being paid by Are you out of your freaking mind? No, I'm not. I am a retail investor just like you. And I have a personal interest in the stock because I'm invested in it and because I see exactly what the shorts are doing. And I'm frustrated, as all of you should be, because this is your money that they are stealing from you. And today they stole from you again. How does it feel? It sucks, doesn't it? Sorry to be blunt, but it's the reality of the situation. And this is a fight. And you're at war with the shorts right now. If you're in this play and you're staying. And I'm staying. So I'm at war with the shorts, and I know that not every day is going to be the perfect day. But you know what? I'm going to expect the worst and be happy when I get the best. And guys, if you can't handle it, then really you shouldn't be in a play like this. This is a play that is going to take patience. And I'm going to tell you, we will win this battle. I'm confident of it. But guys, it's going to be a fight getting to the top. I showed you a chart today on my Twitter. If you didn't see it, go check it out. And that's where my first goal is getting to $3.28 roughly, which would be a 1,000% gain or more, depending on where you bought in. So I already proved to you I could do it in Kava. I'm going to do it in HLBZ. So help me God, and I don't care how long it takes. I have all the time in the world, so let them play their games. I built my position. I'll continue adding on dips as I did today. And guys, we're going to get there. That I can promise. It's going to take time, but we're going to get there. All right, so let's look at what. All right, you can see here from this chart, our net outflow was clearly more than our net inflow, creating the red. However, given the amount that we sold off today, you would expect the red to be completely overwhelming the green, the buys, but it wasn't. That wasn't the case at all, guys. So yes, remember when people are shorting, you're going to see the red because they're selling stock that they don't own. You're not even going to see any of the naked shorting in here because it's not even accounted for. So this is just people shorting and selling versus people buying. And there wasn't that huge of a difference, guys, which shows me that we have very strong buyers still involved in this play, and I'm confident with that. And you know what? When I say I promise, I should take that back, because I promise you I'm staying in this play till I get at least 1,000% gains, but I can't promise what the market's going to do. Nothing in life is guaranteed in the stock market. So let me just be clear on that, because I don't want somebody to come back at me and say, but you promised. My promise and my commitment is I am not selling this trade until it gets well over 1,000% gains, at least 1,000% gains, but most likely well over, because I know where it can go. And there's tons of gap fills to the upside, including in the $20 range. And I'm hesitant to say that right now, because the way people react, you would think that it's going to come tomorrow, which, guys, there's no way. It's not coming tomorrow unless this were to have some sort of a massive, massive squeeze, which it could. I'm not saying it won't, but it's highly unlikely. Squeezes are very, very hard to come by. But to be honest, with us moving to 50, to 50 cents, 55 cents the other day, guys, that's partially a squeeze. I mean, we traded the entire float of the stock 3 times over. That's huge. That is something to be said. And if that doesn't tell you that there's manipulation going on, I don't know what does. So bear that in mind. There's risk in every play, but I feel that in this play, the potential for reward is much higher than the potential of the risk. And if I see something change along the way, and I decide that I'm going to change my mind, which I've done in the past, I did it with BBIG, but that's because fundamentally the play changed and it didn't make sense to stay. And I'm very glad that I made the decision that I did, because I did keep a few shares just to see what would happen. And I was right, 100% right. And I hate to say that, because there's a lot of great people in that play that I knew were going to get hurt, that I tried to warn, but they just thought I was being a trader. Guys, sometimes in life when you're making an investment, things change. And if they do, you have to review them and you have to look at all sides, which is why I say I love to hear the shorts position. I really do, because I think that it adds value, and I think that it makes me think outside the box. So, shorts and helbiz, feel free to hit me up, because I'd like to hear your side of it. In fact, I heard from an investor that I actually found to be very intelligent with what he's saying, because I know the balance sheet looks ugly right now, but I believe that that can change. I believe we're still in exploration. I think COVID came across. And that's not something I disagree with, guys, but it's something that I feel we're a startup and we can get past. And I think that the CEO is working in the right direction for that. I think that we have predatory lending. I've been very open with that, not only with you, but with the CEO as well. And I feel that that needs to be cleaned up. And hopefully, there's no more dilution with Yorkville. We did get today an announcement from the CEO. On his Twitter. If you don't follow him, it's at his last name, at Palella, P-A-L-E-L-L-A. And he said, I have not diluted since Friday, and there is no more dilution at the moment, guys. He didn't say for how long, but he said he's committed to the naked short war. So he's not stupid. He knows he's going to lose every retail investor if he keeps diluting on the way up. So he needed to get his market cap where it is. He needs to maintain it. He'll have to dilute, guys, if the stock continues to drop and we get below 35 million or get close to it, that he's at risk again. He won't have a choice. So that's why I think he chose his words carefully, because he has to make sure that this stock is listed on the NASDAQ, and in order to do that, it needs to maintain that 35 million market cap compliance. If you didn't watch my video on it, you need to go watch my video about dilution and why he's diluting. And guys, he didn't tell me this. This is because I'm smart, right? And I can go back in the filings and I can look at every piece of the puzzle and put it all together and ask the questions as an outsider looking in. Is this a company that I would want to short, or is this a company that I would want to long? And guys, I am not a short by any means. I do play puts on companies. I'm not going to sit here and lie and say that I don't. but I don't short companies like their stock particularly. And if I play a short, it's usually a hedge against my long, which is what a smart investor does if they have a large position, because they know how, especially if it's a stock that retail's heavily involved with, because they know how retail rolls. And nobody wants to short their own stock that they're invested in, but it's a hedge. And you do that when you have something in a large size. And why do you do that? Because you want to protect your investment, and you hope to God that you're wrong, but you're going to see people say it all the time, and that's why they're doing it, guys. It's not because they want to attack the stock they're invested in. Absolutely not. But in HLBZ, there's no options. There's no hedge, but that's a benefit to us, because options, as much as I love to trade them to get money, because I enjoy them and I know how to make money in them, to be honest with you, options are bad for a stock, because they only lead to further dilution, especially when it's a stock that's a startup company like a lot of these cancer drugs and HLBZ. All right, back to HLBZ and back to the day. I just want to make a point to you that every day is not going to be green. I still feel very confident in my investment decision with HLBZ. I still think that we are going to absolutely kill it and smoke these freaking shorts. I think you guys need to just have more faith in the play and don't go crying like little weenie babies or whatever you want to call yourselves, because there's a lot of really whiny people that I've noticed on Twitter when they don't get their way for a single day. You know, there's a reason that I have on my Twitter, shake it off, and it's because if I don't shake it off when people are dicks, then I'm going to go home crying every day, right? And I'm sorry, but I'm a happy, positive person. And I just decided today that, you know what, I'm dealing with my daughter's car issues. I already have crap going on with that. I fell last night. I'm already in a pissy mood. I don't need to put up with this crap anymore, because I know what I offer you. If you don't like it, unfollow me and don't watch my freaking videos. I don't care. You know what? Like, I'm not here because I'm a teenager looking for attention. I'm here to help people. And if you can't see that, then you don't belong on this channel or on my Twitter. And if you're rude, I'm going to block you, period. All right, back to this. So sorry for my rant. So dark pool trades. Today, 67% of all trades, guys, were in the dark pool. Now, for those of you new, let me explain what that means, because I really want to educate you. If your trade is going to the dark pool, the majority, which means it's not on the lit exchange, it doesn't reflect price action. So why are they sending all of these trades to the dark pool? Because, guys, they were trying to drive the price down. Their intention is to short the freaking crap out of it. I don't know how to be any clearer with you. They only have one goal, and that is to bankrupt HLBZ. I can't be any more specific, which is why I decided to commit to fighting for this company, because I think it's a great company with a lot of potential. All right. Now, given all of today's event, guys, because this is the last candle that printed for today, we are still showing a bullish pattern, and we still have a strong bullish pattern that's showing short and medium term. We are going to be making moves to the upside. And still on the daily chart, which is what I look at to see if it's time to exit a trade, still looking great to me. There's nothing for me to complain about here other than the fact that it's manipulated. All right, so this little bearish article came out today on Shutterstock, which is kind of confusing because it does have some excellent points, but I think that the person writing it ultimately says he's not going to invest in it because of the risk, which is fine because everybody has a different risk tolerance. And yes, investing in stocks that are trading below $6, guys, is risky, especially when the company is not profitable. Why is that? Because a lot of times big money is betting on their failure and they're shorting the crap out of it. But you know what? I tend to like these plays and I tend to always root for the underdog. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the nurse in me, but you know, I like to see good people win, and I really think that the CEO is a good person with shareholders' best interest at heart, as well as his own. You know what I liked about him? I saw how much he's personally investing in this company. That's truly what I was drawn to HLBZ for, because CEOs that invest in their company like that, they know they have a great idea. They know it's going places, and they're showing you they want you to succeed. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be rude, but it's the opposite of what David Mitchery is doing. Do you see him buying his own shares? And I'm an investor in Mullen, so don't get the wrong idea here, but I'm being very honest with you. As a CEO, would you rather have Salvatore Palella or would you rather have David Mitchery? 1,000,000%, I will take Salvatore any day. And I actually had, when I first started building my position in helbiz, I had equal amounts of helbiz and Mullen. And I did a deep dive into my beliefs and which one I wanted to really build my position larger in. And at first I was adding to Mullen because I see the potentials there. And I definitely think there's a meme, quote unquote, which is not always a good thing, but it can help your stock following. And I said, I can see it running pretty good and making X amount of dollars. And guys, I don't give price targets, so I'm just going to use X amount of dollars. And then I looked at helbiz and I saw the institutional buying. I saw the insider buying. I saw a sell buying more and more shares each and every month. Essentially, guys, he was buying it up like crazy. And I said, let's take a deeper look in this. All right, yeah, the balance sheet's ugly. We had COVID. We had this. And if I were running this business, which I'm not, but if I were, okay, I could see some places where I cut, blah, blah, blah. But then he starts announcing cuts coming along, the acquisition of wheels. I mean, there's so many things that I think this company has going for it. And one of the biggest things I think is that potentially I could see this blowing up and being in every cruise terminal. I could see it being all across the cities in Europe that I traveled to and, where people are outside and doing things. Guys, the potential, especially in warm climate places, is huge. In seaports, I believe would be huge. And I just think that if we give this stock a chance, we can save it from the destruction that they're trying to bring it to. And let me give you the bullish points of this article. You can go back and read the bearish ones, but here's what he says that's bullish. So the pre-sale resulted in $2.2 million in sales for the company. Now, considering that our market cap right now is around 45, maybe a little bit higher, I don't know on today's action, $1 million, 2.2 million is pretty significant for one single pre-order. And he announced that he's going to be dropping another pre-order soon, guys. That's huge. Okay. And he said that as far as the stock squeezing, yes, absolutely. We were starting to squeeze this week, guys, and squeezes don't go straight up. You need to know that too. If you don't, go back and look at the chart of GameStop when it had its massive squeeze and look at the dumps that happened along the way. helbiz could absolutely rocket tomorrow because it starts to squeeze again, guys. It's very, very possible. And don't quote me saying she said it's going to happen because I didn't say crap. There's a lot of unpredictables here, and there's a reason I don't give price targets on plays like this. And that's because of the retail investor and the psychology behind investing. But I truly believe that we have the potential to bounce hard from these levels, like he says right here, and I have highlighted. Also, it says this is a stock with plenty of near-term catalysts, so bulls are going to be watching closely. Further, at only 45 million market cap, shares may easily surge if retail investors can put the squeeze on. I agree 1,000%. This is, and I've been following this stock for many, many months. I follow stocks a long time before I talk about them, guys, because I'm waiting for where I feel that they've gotten to a bottom or close to a bottom or are going to have a big run. And that being said, I really believe that we're at a point now where we've been naked shorted and regularly shorted on the market. Look at the shares that are admitting to shorting. In fact, let me show you today alone. And all of these TBDs are because the results aren't even in yet. This is only based off of 191 million volume. But of that volume of the shares reported there, over 47% today was shorted on a day where they shorted it enough that it shouldn't have even had to be shorted that much because people were just selling it like crazy. And I firmly believe if Mullen didn't start running when it did, Helbiz was about to move. In fact, I tweeted it because I saw the volume spike and I saw it, and then I saw Mullen volume spike at the same time. I tweeted that. And I feel like retail jumped out of Helbiz and ran over to Mullen, and that created that sell at the end of the day. And there's no doubt in my mind that's exactly what happened, because I know how retail is. I've been at this game long enough, guys. You know, I've been an investor for over 20-something years. I've been trading for about 5 years now, and I've seen, like, when I say trading, I mean as in day trading. But I've seen what retail does, and I've seen the craziness that they do and how they just jump from play to play and take losses in plays and run to another one and then end up taking losses over there. I'm laughing, but it's really not funny. It's like craziness to me. Find a play that you're good at, or watch a few stocks, and don't worry about the fact that I'm tweeting about 20 different stocks. It doesn't mean I'm in all 20 of them. Sometimes I like watching things too, guys. Or I'm watching things that are in an investment portfolio, or I'm trading options for the day on them. Not everything is going to be a trade. So please don't think that because I'm doing it, you should. I have a lot more experience and I can watch many things at once. When you're learning, the best thing you can do is stick to 1 or 2 stocks and pay attention to them as you're trying to build your portfolio. You don't need more than that. In fact, overtrading can get you in trouble. Overtrading can get an experienced trader such as myself in trouble. Very much trouble. Trust me, some days I forget I have certain things until I look at the option and I'm like, oh, shit, I forgot I had that. You don't want to do that. It's bad. All right. Here's something else going on funny, guys. Again, Fintel is not giving us updated information till almost like close. Something's off here. What are they doing with these numbers? They can't show them. This never happens. Wanted to point that out. Also, look at this. Look at how we started the day with next to nothing. Now, obviously, if people are selling, that's giving them shares back that they can lend out again, right? Or actually, if shorts are closing their shorts, then it's giving them the shorts back that they can short. But also, if people are buying on payment for order flow websites such as Robinhood, and they don't have a cash account with share lending off, which just so you know, my account on Robinhood is cash, no margin, because margin, they have an agreement, whether you say they can or not, they can loan your shares out, just so you know. But I have 5 platforms, and there's only margin on one of them, and that is TD Ameritrade. The rest are cash accounts, guys. And actually, I may have margin on one of my Fidelity is my main brokerage. I have multiple accounts there. I may have margin on one of those because I used to trade in there quite a bit. But anyways, just so you know, keep this on your radar because this could be a good thing or a bad thing. Because as shares become more available, that means they're shorting less usually, right? But they could be harvesting them up if you start to see this drop off suddenly for them to do a short attack. And the cost to borrow, very interesting. We're almost encouraging people to short throughout the day because look at the low on here. This says a minimum of 21.23%, but I saw during the day it was actually like 18% like it shows as yesterday. So, and then currently right now it's at 49%. I swear to you, earlier in the day, and you can look at my tweets, it was like they were encouraging people to short this stock. Guys, the failure to delivers haven't changed. Obviously, we don't have an update yet, but I think they're dropping either tonight or tomorrow or sometime this week. And then, of course, it's still lying and saying that the short interest is 1.5%. We all know that that is not accurate. So just bear that in mind. And then just so you know, as a reference, we did trade at the time I took this picture, which was probably around 6:30. We traded 188 million shares. So less than yesterday, but still massively more than our normal volume. And guys, I truly believe that there are still people buying. I know that I bought more today. We're up in the after hours. We're up about 10%. This was earlier when it was at 30 cents. I think it was up to 32 when I started recording this. But keep an eye on it because I do believe that tomorrow we're going to move higher. Again, there's no guarantees. If retail continues to sell off or pile into Mullen or something, all right, it may take us a couple days. But the CEO also tweeted tonight, like I said, about the dilution. That seems to be what made it move in the after hours. So keep your eye on his Twitter for, updates, because that could help send it. And guys, just be patient, because Rome isn't built in a day, and this isn't either. And you know what? Just stay positive and don't listen to the FUD out there, because you're going to have the shorts attacking it. You're going to have people that lost money. You're going to see them make nasty comments on my page, on here. I don't really give a crap. Like, yeah, it annoys me at sometimes, but generally I'm able to brush it off pretty well. Today was just one of those days where my kid's away at college, and I parked her car in my driveway in the back, and because we got a snowstorm and I didn't want to have to shovel the extra spot out of the driveway, so I put it behind my car, and I don't know what happened, but it wouldn't start, and I jumped it, and then I had to call AAA. They jumped it, wouldn't start. I ended up having to get it towed today so that I could get to my car to just do some errands. So it was one of those days, and when you're just having like a bad day, or a day you didn't anticipate having. I shouldn't say it was a bad day. It was just a day I didn't expect to be dealing with that, and not being able to go run to the post office and do things I needed to do. But, when you have a day like that and people just start irking you, you should probably turn off your phone. But no, me, I'm like going to defense mode or something. But guys, you know what? There's going to be haters no matter what you do. If you have a voice, people are going to love you when things are green, and they're going to hate you when things are red. And even when I go and I show them that HLBZ is still up 122% on the week, which is freaking amazing, I can't control where they bought in at. I can't control what they sell. I don't tell people when to buy, when to sell. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here to help you learn and to teach you. Please don't chase stocks. Please do yourself a favor. If they're running significantly, it doesn't mean that you can't get into them. But you need to wait for a pullback, because nothing's going to go straight up, just like nothing goes straight down. It just doesn't work like that. And when they go up quickly like that, they fall hard. And that's part of the problem. We went up so quickly. We need to build support. So hopefully when we start climbing up tomorrow, we can, baby step ladder up. I would rather see that, to be perfectly honest, than to see a rocket, because every day I see how the rockets end up. Just like when things squeeze, they crash just as hard as they squeeze. So remember that. It also, if you're new and learning, then please figure out what kind of trader you want to be. And it's okay if you want to do more than one thing. Like, I'm primarily an investor, guys. You should all know that about me if you watch this channel. I want you to know that. I'm primarily an investor. However, I day trade options, and I also swing trade positions that I have high conviction in, that I like the chart setups. So I would consider HLBZ an investment, because I went in with the intention of owning it for more than 1 year. However, things could change. If I reach a target that I want, I might pull out part of it. So that would mean that I traded part of it, but not really, guys, because there's nothing wrong with taking some profits on the way up. When I buy things, I like to, at some point, sell to get my original investment back and let the rest ride. And then when I reach my target price, or whatever my goal is, I reevaluate at that point. Like with Kappa, as soon as it hit that gap fill at 1160, I sold off everything except 18 shares. Why 18? Because the number has something significant to me with what it means that I'm watching. And I have like a little system. So when you see, like, if I were to ever do a screenshot of something, Cabo was only 18 shares I have left today, and have had for a while since I hit that 1160 price target, because I hit my goal. So why am I going to keep holding it when I can put it into something else? I think it could run more. I may buy it back. I'm not going to lie about that, but I'm iffy on the chart pattern right now. So just to give you a heads up, and I pulled off some profits before it even hit my price target to get back my initial investment. But then when I hit my goal, then I'm primarily out, other than my codes for if I have anything under 50 shares of a stock, or actually 50, sometimes I'll buy a half of the size. Like when I buy in increments, unless it's a stock that's super cheap like this, then, you know, I buy in increments of 100, or if it's a stock like this, I usually buy in increments of 500 or 1,000 or more, but usually that's like what I buy each time I'm buying. But if I'm buying something small and I'm buying little small numbers, they have a meaning. So sometimes I look at my portfolio and I have like 50 things there, but they might only have a few shares, and that's because I'm watching for certain things and I code it by a number. So you need to come up with a system that works for you and figure out how you're going to trade it and know what kind of trader you are. Are you going to be a swing trader? Are you going to be a day trader? Are you going to be an investor? Are you going to be a little bit of everything but have different accounts for those things in general, unless you're using money off of your gains to reinvest? Like I do that with Robinhood. And I hate them, but they give you easy access to your cash, like immediately. As soon as I want to transfer it, I can buy an option contract, and I can't do that on other platforms. So they have you like by the whatever. They have me tracked, I feel like, but I have to figure a way to get away from that. But I use sometimes those option gains to build size in a large position that I want to hold on to, as well as invest. So, and then sometimes I transfer it over to my other brokerage once it's proven where it's at. But guys, I hope that some of these tips helped in this video. I know that it was more than just about HLBZ, but I wanted to take an opportunity to give you some more education too, because I feel like a lot of people watch blindly, jump into a play, and get trapped. And I don't want to see that happen to any of you. I don't want people to lose money. I want you guys to make money. I truly, truly do. And I truly believe if you're patient with HLBZ, you're going to make a lot of money. But you got to be patient, and you just got to let it roll off when it has a red day. Every single stock has red days. All right. Have a great night.